I literally just filmed a 10-minute video and quickly realized that I did not hit record because that you're filming on my iPad for a couple different reasons. One, I wanted to see if the USB-C mic worked. It did, so then I was like, sweet, let's use it. Two, the camera that I would potentially film like videos on is full on the memory card because of my vlog series, which you guys should check out. Three, what was the other reason? I don't remember. I'm wearing a tank top. Happy Thanksgiving, Puerto Rico. All right, I have no Wi-Fi. I have no cell service, so I'm filming this on my iPad so I can upload it when I get to the field, which I do have service there. But I've been getting a lot of emails with a lot of questions. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna film a video answering the question and then upload it to YouTube, and then hopefully the individual that emailed me, even though I can't check my emails right now, can see it and then be benefited by it. Kind of makes sense. All right, so I've been getting I want to tackle this one first because this question I get often in regards to plyo velos and comparison to baseball velos. And there's one particular avenue in which I really want to overemphasize just to give you guys an understanding of like brain's perception of distance and exertion and how all of these things kind of are intertwined into creating the most efficient mover that you can potentially be when throwing. Because here's the thing, throwing for me is a movement, and your brain downloads the patterns in which you give it, and then it just sends those signals to the body in order to move, to express power. Just movement, throwing, all the same. So the thing is, when we throw a plyo, now let me say first and foremost, like this is a totally different section, category of discussing, hey, I throw a weighted baseball 6, 7, 8 ounces harder than I throw a 5 ounce. Also, this is a way different conversation aside from why do I throw harder on a flat ground than a mound. These are totally different components. This is a perception thing. It could very well be similar in regards to like how come I can throw 400 feet but I can't freaking break 90 on the mound, right? These are very similar things, especially in like pull downs as well. I think I've talked about this in the pull down videos as well. The perception of like creating freedom based on where your desired task's location is. Meaning when you're throwing a baseball and you're on a mound, you're 60 feet 6 inches, I don't care if it's a prefrontal cortex thought in your mind, meaning like conscious thought of I hope I don't throw it freaking to the backstop, or I hope I don't miss my spot, or whatever that is, or even if it's a subconscious thought of like not thinking anything about the location of where you're throwing it to, but still there's this bit of restriction that comes in no matter what. In my opinion, I could be wrong, but this is my opinion based off of product and environment and personal experience, so who knows. So I will say, when you're throwing a plyo ball, okay, I don't care the weight, I don't care whatever, you're throwing it into a wall at a very, very close distance. So that automatically gets you to be natural, to be loose, to be free, to be a more efficient mover, in my opinion, right? Because there's no responsibility of where this thing goes. You can not even look at it. You can close your eyes. You're going to essentially complete the task, right? Whereas when the distance is obviously greater, it's not always the case that you complete the task, right? So I do a lot of stuff on like task completion and giving your brain a different task for a movement or a throw rep, and making sure that you feel accomplished depending on what the task is. And I try, especially depending on what athlete it is, what they struggle with as far as movement, throwing, mechanics, all those things, try to give them a totally different task instead of location to create freedom. So I would encourage you guys, I think like 90% of the time, it's not necessarily a huge mechanical breakdown from the plyo throw to the baseball throw. I honestly think it's just you have so much more freedom when you're throwing your plyos. You're so much more athletic, and you guys know how much I love athleticism when throwing. When you're throwing a plyo at a close distance, right? Like that's just natural. It's free. You don't have to worry about anything. You don't have to feel embarrassed if you overthrow your partner or if you one-hop, like all these things that naturally come into a throw when you're throwing this to somebody, right? That fear of your brain going through past experience and saying, oh, remember that time you did this and you felt bad, and or someone laughed at you, right? So then the question becomes, all right, well, what do I have to do to be the best version of myself as a thrower? Is it more reps at a close distance? Is it more reps into a net? Is it more reps as the distance is 400 feet to create that freedom and instill that motor pattern and that motion memory of a very natural, loose, free throw? Is it more of that volume? Or is it the exact opposite, in which you take away all of that volume and say, hey, dude, like, looking in the mirror, I need to figure this stuff out, because at the end of the day, if I want to like do this thing for a living, I'm going to have to eventually freaking complete some tasks that are location orientated, right? That's just the nature of the beast. But I do believe that there is a space in which you need to explore, in like checking the ego at the door and being like, all right, I'm not benefiting at all from the volume of throws that I'm taking on this side in which there is a location task, because I have no freedom. I'm consciously in thought, and I'm worried about the result and the outcome and all of these things, and I am getting nowhere from this. You know what I mean? Like, you're just not getting better by doing this. You're staying stagnant. You're taking a few steps back. So that's the type of guy that I would say, yo, you need to like more volume into a net, more volume throwing alone, right, where there is no sense of feeling guilty or embarrassed. And then you just need to train your body. Your body is the most adaptable organism on the friggin' face of the planet, right? So it will adapt to whatever stimulus that you're giving it on a consistent basis. Now, you got to know yourself. Obviously, you got to understand like what you need, why you need it, why you're doing it, and all those other things. But hopefully, by giving you guys some of that information, you can look yourself in the mirror and be like, all right, well, what do I got to do? You know what I mean? But I do get a ton of questions in regards to like plyo velos. Like, I got a question the other day, I think on Instagram Live, but homeboy was throwing a blue tap weighted plyo ball, Bio Specialties, discount Robby 10, case sensitive, you're welcome. He was throwing the 21 ounce harder. No, was it the 14 ounce? It was a higher ounce. It was like 14 or 21. He was throwing that harder than he threw in games facing hitters, like on the mound. And so I would look at that and be like, maybe there's that conversation that I talk about a lot in regards to the weighted baseball stuff, how, you know, there's just maybe more mechanical efficiency there because the load is higher, which the body, again, being adaptable, kind of protects against itself. So then it's getting put into more leverage, powerful positions. Maybe it's that, but I would honestly say, like, dude, you're getting on a mound and you're probably focused so much on like a specific pitch, a task, a cue, physical movement, that you're moving like a robot at a super slow tempo. But again, at the end of the day, without me seeing it, it's all guesswork. So give the power to you guys. Take video. If anything jumps out, could be mechanical, but if anything doesn't jump out, and it's the same, relatively the same between both throws from a plyo to a baseball, that's all I got for you guys. Hopefully I hit the record button. Check out my vlogs. Happy Thanksgiving. Puerto Rico. Grinding. No Wi-Fi. 3G network. All right. God bless. See ya.